Hey everyone, and welcome back to Sports Design School, where we teach you everything you need to know to create high-quality sports designs in Adobe Photoshop. Now today, I have a quick tutorial for you guys. Lately, I've kind of been doing this new format where kind of every Monday of each week, I'm going to kind of put out a short tutorial, like just a short tip for you guys. And then on Thursdays, like Wednesdays or Thursdays, I'll put out kind of more of a full-length tutorial. Obviously not this week because Thanksgiving is this week, but starting kind of next week, that'll be the more routine cycle. Is every Monday you'll get a tip, every Thursday you'll get a more in-depth video, either a PSD or a breakdown or whatever it may be. But today's little tidbit of information I have for you guys is how to make your images pop in Adobe Photoshop. Now I see a lot of designs where people like put together an awesome design and it'll look great, but then sometimes like the cutout itself leaves a little bit to be desired. Like you really just want to make it like emphasize and make it look nice and professional. And there are some great easy ways to do that in Adobe Photoshop. So today I'm just going to break down a couple of quick ones and show you how to do everything step by step. So let's get started. So here I have on my computer this image of JT Daniels, UGA quarterback legend, and I just have a normal cutout. And so what I'm going to start off by doing is going up to filter and then down to camera raw filter. I use camera raw filter all the time in my tutorials, so if you've kept up with the channel, you probably have heard that before. And so what I want to do is just zoom in a little bit so we can get a closer look. Now to add some nice detail to our image, the basic thing that I recommend doing is just turning up the clarity a little bit. So you can see by turning up the clarity, it gives it more of that HDR kind of over-processed look that is like pretty popular in sports. And just turning it up just a little bit. I have it up at like 40. You'll notice it really brings out some of the details in his face with like his skin pores and things like that, and really just makes it look less flat of an image and more dynamic. You can also do the same with texture, so maybe we bring texture up a little bit. See, if we bring up texture all the way, you can see the way that kind of looks. I'm just going to bring it up to maybe, we'll leave it at 11 for now. And then I'm going to move dehaze up a little bit too. You can see what that does. I'm just going to use maybe like +2 on that one. And you'll see that creates more of a polished look, kind of gives more detail in some of our like wrinkles in our jersey right here, or the veins in his skin and stuff like that. It really makes it pop and really makes your cutout stand out. Now while we're in camera raw filter, I want to talk a little bit about a couple more things I can do in here. So for instance, in this particular photo, it looks like our reds are kind of desaturated a little bit, and it also looks like some of our blacks on our jersey look kind of medium gray. And so I want to be able to edit those and bring them back down to black. So we can do that pretty easily in camera raw filter. I'm just going to go and bring our black values down. If I bring it all the way down, you see what it looks like. I'm just going to bring it down a little bit. Again, we just want to really bring the shadows and the black parts to make it look like truly black on our image. And then we want to increase our saturation, like I was saying, so that we kind of increase the saturation in our reds a little bit. Now, in your particular situation, you're not going to have this exact image, but whatever image it may be, make sure you go through and tweak the colors to get it to look right. Sometimes images are just saturated, sometimes they're oversaturated, sometimes they're too warm, sometimes they're too cold. Camera raw filter is a great way of going through and playing around with some of those details. But for right now in this image, I think this looks good. So I'm going to hit OK. And you can see already, we're going from that to that. And you can see more detail and just more, it's like a more professional look and feel for this cutout. Now let's say you wanted to turn it up a notch and you really wanted to take this and make something like super detailed, like lots of vein marks, lots of detail on the image. Well, we can do that by clicking, dragging up, and holding Alt to duplicate our image. And what I'm going to show you now is we're going to hit Filter and then hit Other. And and we're gonna hit high pass. So what high pass does is it takes note of all of the lines in our image and takes note of all like the color changes in our image and allows us to create kind of a mask that we put on top of it to further enhance the detail of our image. I'm gonna leave it at 7.2 for right now because I think that's what looks pretty good. You can play around with it as much as you want to. But with that duplicated, we can hit OK. And now you'll notice that doesn't look very good at all. But what we're gonna do is change our blending mode on that layer to overlay. Now let me turn it off for a second so you can see. So we're gonna zoom in on his eyes here. And let's turn it on and off. I mean, you can see the detail in the image that's coming out just by using this high pass filter. And so let's just go back to what we started with. So here you just have like a normal flat image, but then once we turn on our high pass and our camera raw filter, you just have an awesomely detailed image that looks really great and is, I mean, it just looks professional if we're being completely honest. But that's it for today's video. A little update on what's coming out very soon. I have some motion graphics tutorials in After Effects that I'm recording. And those will be out here probably within the next 2 weeks. I also have that Georgia PSD that I promoted on our Instagram story. If you haven't seen it, it's probably gone now, but that video, for those of you wondering, I'll probably record that soon, and that'll be out again within the next 2 weeks. I also have an exciting Editing Your Designs Part 2 coming out very, very soon, so make sure you stay tuned for that. That'll be awesome. But in the meantime, make sure you subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on those future videos. And if you've learned something new and think you can use these skills in a future design of your own, make sure you drop a like on the video. But that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good one.